I'm guessing this time that unless some shades from legacy providers, probably from ARIN, come into the market this year, I actually think that no more than 2.5/8 will be transferred in 2016, meaning that the IPv4 market will probably see in 2016 the first decrease, the first slowdown. This can be related first to, well, let's put it this way, gold rush. The first few years of transfers have actually seen all the willing sellers coming into the market, while all that inventory has almost run out now. We will only see new entrants, new sellers into the market if these are the legacy holders of mainly ARIN space. So I'm afraid to say, and I hope I'm wrong, but we might actually see the first decrease of transfers, both in numbers of transfers and in number of IP addresses this year. Now, if we do really see that, that means that the price will be driven up. We'll see what happens, and I have another slide about that as well, just in a few seconds. So what we have learned in the past few years is, and these are advices for all of you here that want to make transfers. First problem that someone encounters after a transfer is completed is that the Geo IP providers will still see the IP addresses as being used in the country of the seller's LIR. So the most important thing is once you transfer a block of IP addresses, you should start using it, especially if the originating country is, has a different spoken language. It's very important that you at least try to use these IP addresses on a normal basis in your offices, just to make sure that Geo IP providers try and update their databases. And if you see that they don't update their databases within a couple of weeks, then it's a very good idea to start contacting them. Probably the most used Geo IP provider is MaxMind. I'm sure that you in the room may know of others, and I'm actually going to ask you to speak at the microphone once the presentation is finished, so that you can share with the rest of the people in the room what are the other Geo IP providers that someone should contact. Also, very important is that before you make the transfer, you should ask for a blacklist report on the IP block, or you should check the major blacklisting providers yourself. Now, we, V4 Escrow, we do offer IP blacklisting report for all the IP addresses that are transferred to us, and this report is presented both to the seller and the buyer, and we verify in all of the 60+ blacklists in the world if any of the IP addresses are blacklisted, and we'll even help both the seller and the buyer to clean up these, to basically clean the IP addresses from blacklists. It's important, especially if you're going to do mail or hosting on those IP addresses, that you clean them before you start using them. Now, if you are the buyer, you should also request the seller to forward you the abuse reports they are receiving. What we have noticed is after the transfer of an IP block, for months, even years, the original holder, the seller of the IP addresses, keeps receiving abuse reports to their email address. Although you have maybe updated your contact details in the RIPE database and the correct email address is now shown in the RIPE database, unfortunately the abuse reporters will not update their databases. We've even tried to contact SpamCop. We've tried to contact, there was another German company that was sending thousands of reports of problems with IP addresses in the RIPE region. They never reply back. They don't care about it. They will keep on sending abuse reports to an email address, to a company